I'm Joel. I often trip on power cables, and in my opinion, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has the best track selection in the series. A large factor in that is its huge track selection, but I think it stands on its own merits as an excellent roster of courses. But there's one track that stands far above the others, and that is Big Blue. It was released as the final track of the OG Mario Kart 8 second wave of DLC, and is easily the best track in the entire series. But what makes it so great? 8 is one of the best looking Nintendo games of all time, and yet somehow Big Blue manages to make this game look even better. It somehow manages to incorporate not only a super futuristic and cool art style, which would on its own outclass a large percentage of the game, but also an entirely self-contained and detailed world just for the background. You hurtle through a huge city, and it's almost impossible to take in everything going on in only one or two races. It's one of the most unique, stylish, and gorgeous looking tracks in the entire game. Opening straight and turn is nothing too crazy, but is a great example of why I personally love 8's anti-gravity gimmick. It's far from perfect, but in several select tracks, it makes what would normally be just an ordinary straight or turn far more interesting, mostly visually. The gameplay variation due to anti-gravity is minimal, but in Big Blue's opening corkscrew turn, it allows for a tighter, faster, and more exciting section than it would be otherwise. But what's even more interesting is the introduction to Big Blue's best feature: speed. There are enough dash panels and anti-grav poles that even if you're not super skilled, you can maintain full speed through the entire turn, and this design philosophy continues throughout the entire track's design. Then of course, there's the pit areas exclusive to the two F-Zero tracks, which replace physical coins on the track, and are an awesome inclusion. Then, there's a short split path section, which gives good reasons to take either route. The lower path has a tighter turn, but if you still don't have max coins, it might be worth taking the top path with another pit area. Then after a small jump, you come to a set of 3 turns with alternating conveyors as another method to increase speed, but can be devastating if you take them incorrectly. Finally, you come to a short glider section to send you speeding into lap 2, with a dash panel over the lap change, for good measure. Lap 2 is much more open, set in a lush green mountainous environment, with awesome looking waterfalls contrasting the futuristic pipes and buildings lining the cliffs. The entire section is filled with rushing water straight out of Wee Koopa Cape, to continue the theme of speed. The split paths are seemingly pretty equal in terms of speed, but the ability to switch between paths with anti-grav allow for some great shortcuts that are even more fun than they are fast. At the end of the split paths comes a jump through yet another method of gaining speed, boost rings, into a final rushing rapids turn followed by a long glider into lap 3. Lap 3 opens phenomenally, with a set of green and red conveyors, similar to earlier, covered with dash panels, making for potentially the fastest part of this already lightning quick course if you can position correctly. A quick upside down hairpin and 2 more recharge pits, you get your first glimpse of the track's climax, and you enter the final major section, a split into green and purple path, both absolutely smothered in boost panels. Throughout this section you hurtle around all corners, and for the sections without rails, several more awesome shortcuts can be made by swapping between paths. Finally, the final straight is pretty simple, but makes for a great mad dash for the finish line with some basic off-road mushroom cuts as you speed towards the underneath of a giant airship before crossing the finish line and wanting to race it all over again. Finally, Big Blue's music stands alongside its track as one of, if not the best in the series. It's such a fast-paced, awesome song which fits the track perfectly, yet still works as something that can be listened to separately. The incredible electric guitarist and saxophonist are constantly competing for domination of your ears, and both of their solos elevate you to the Mario Kart heavens. But let's not ignore the masterful work done by the bassist, drummer and rhythm guitars that make up the supporting instrumentation. It's just a phenomenal piece of music all around. I hope you can see why Big Blue is my favourite track in all of Mario Kart. Thank you for watching, and leave a comment telling me why you like, or, for whatever psychopathic reason, dislike this track. I've been Joel, but you can call me the Power Tripper.